All right. Good evening, USFFL. We are broadcasting. Let me go ahead and get the link posted out here as always. Give me a second. All right. Let's get it out here. Thank for the. All right. So I think we're ready to go. We've got that posted. And we are now looking live at the Music City Stadium. I can't think of the name of it, but we are in Tennessee, live from Nashville, with the Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the Tennessee Titans. Opening drive of the game. This is going to be a good one, I think. And there's a first down throw from Ben Roethlisberger, who has started this game 3 for 3. Juju Smith-Schuster on that conversion. This is the first possession of the game. 7 plays so far on the drive for the Steelers, who now have it first and 10 at the Tennessee 35-yard line. Steelers will go in a 3 wide receiver formation, and I believe we'll see a lot of that with their nice stable of wideouts. James Conner is the single setback in the backfield. Titans out of the 3-4. We've got a short pass to Deontay Johnson, and that is incomplete on Roethlisberger's card. Defense was indeed guessing pass on the play. Right, there we go. Let's come back to our game. Second and 10 now at the Tennessee 35-yard line. Steelers will keep the 3 wide receivers in the game, and we have a short pass to Juju Smith-Schuster. That's complete, 13 yards on Roethlisberger's card. He's going to convert that first down to the 22-yard line of Tennessee. The drive continues. James Conner still the single setback, 3 wide receivers. Titans shifting to the nickel defense. And we have another short pass. It's a slant pass to the tight end, Eric Ebron, incomplete. Every play so far has been on Roethlisberger's card. We haven't seen the defensive card yet of the Titans. Their defense is rated very poor against the pass, although I'll be the first to tell you, you look at their defensive cards and you are not going to be convinced that they are very poor. Second and 10. We have a run. Pitch out to James Conner. It's on the defensive card this time, and that's going to be a pickup of 5 yards. White die of 6 beats the defensive end, and we've got a third down opportunity and a big one. 3rd and 5 for the Steelers at the Tennessee 17, now inside the red zone, opening drive of the game. Three wide receivers, 2 running backs. James Conner behind Benny Snell. It's an off tackle to Benny Snell, and that's just going to be a single yard. Defense was guessing pass. It was wrong, but Snell could not convert, and it's 4th and 4. Steelers at the 16 are going to settle for a field goal attempt. Bosworth, or I should say Boswell, puts it through. 2 through 10 was his opportunity, and he drills it. So the Steelers draw first blood. They're up 3-0. Here's the ensuing kickoff. A.J. Brown takes it back. It's a 19-yard return out to the 21, and the Titans have their first possession of the game. 2 tight end formation. Derrick Henry, King Henry, single setback behind Tannehill. King Henry is averaging over 200 yards per game through 5 games on the season, and he already has 1,000 yards rushing, on pace for over 3,000. So very curious to see what a good Steelers defense can do to try to contain him in this game. Steelers will sit in the 3-4 defense. They've got a good defensive line. Two fives and a six. Here's a quick out pass to Anthony Ferkser, and he is doubled. Minka Fitzpatrick comes in and doubles him, and that is incomplete. There is a flag on the play, and it looks like it is an encroachment penalty on the Steelers. So wipe away that stop. 5-yard penalty, and it's 1st and 5 for the Titans. 3 wide receiver formation with 2 running backs. Blasingame in front of Derrick Henry. Here's an off-tackle draw against a pass call. Henry with his first opportunity. Waiting on the dice here. Off-tackle draw goes to the defensive card. It's a split roll, a 5-yard gain, but there's another penalty, and let's see. It says neutral zone infraction for 5 yards. So that'll convert, and we've got a 1st and 10 for the Titans now at their own 31-yard line. 2 tight ends again. A.J. Brown and Corey Davis split out wide. Steelers out of the 3-4. Here's a pitch out to Derrick Henry. Safety was doubling A.J. Brown. They're guessing pass, and that's going to be a gain of 9 yards on the defensive card. Offensive onside end. Only needed to be a 4. And that converted 9 yards on the play, setting up a nice 2nd and 1 for Tennessee at their own 40. Derrick Henry with that 1 carry now for 9 yards, leading the USFFL right now with 7.4 per carry. Here's a short pass from Tannehill going to A.J. Brown. It's a result of receiver, and he's got it. It's a completion of 14 yards, and that's going to get him over the midfield stripe and into Steeler territory. 1st and 10 Titans now at the 46-yard line. Back to the 2 tight end formation. It's a pitch out to Henry again, but this time he is keyed. Goes to his card, and even on keyed, it converted to 5 yards on right because there was no linebacker in that particular end run zone. So 5 yards on a key call. And Titans have a manageable 2nd down now, 2nd and 5 at the Pittsburgh 41. Here's off tackle again to Derrick Henry. Short yardage defense is the call, and that's going to be a 2-yard loss. Steelers getting it on their defensive card, and with a linebacker there, the Steelers know what to do. And that sets up a 3rd and 7. So here's a big 3rd down conversion for the Titans. Steelers kicker Boswell. Field goal range goes out to the 42-yard line, but it's only a 2 through 4 from there. So he's going to need another 10 yards really to get into more reasonable field goal range. Splitting out wide, 4 wide receivers now for the Titans on 3rd and 7. Derrick Henry, the single setback out of that spread formation. Here's a crossing pattern, Corey Davis, and that's incomplete. Tannehill on his card finds the empty spot, and that's 4th and 7. Titans probably punting here from the Steeler 43. They are indeed in punt formation. And Britt Kern trying to angle that out, and he does a great job inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. So Titans had to punt on their opening drive, but a nice punt has pinned the Steelers down at their 3-yard line. 5:42 to go here in the first quarter. Steelers already on top 3-0. Steelers come into the game with a 3-2 record. A win here would tie them with the Ravens for first place in the AFC North. Out of the pro set formation, here's a screen to James Conner. Defense was guessing run, but it's a possible pick, and it is intercepted by the Titans at the 5-yard line of Pittsburgh. And it's taken right there. That was an interception on a 3 on the defensive card. Snake eyes or double sixes, and they got the double sixes. Titans with the interception on the play. Desmond King stepped in front of it. And it's now 1st and 10. Wait a second. Hang on. Why is it They're kicking an extra point. I don't understand because it doesn't show how they got in the end zone. Bear with me a second here. That seems strange to me. Interception, advancement, no. Next thing I know, they're kicking the extra point. So I'm not sure what happened. I'm hoping to find out in just a second here. And we might be frozen. So let's go ahead and assume we are, not waste anybody's time. Let's go ahead and get out of here. While we're doing that, let's make sure there's nobody looking to get in the stream. Not seeing that. So, uh, so it appears from what we just saw that the Titans have taken a 7-3 lead. Didn't mean to open that twice. Okay, here we go. Oh, shoot. All right, let's get that game number again. All right, and come on, let me in. All right, we are in, and let's see. So it is indeed 7-3. Come on. Steelers getting ready to punt, actually. So the interception was apparently returned for a touchdown. That's what happened. Desmond King on the interception returned it for a touchdown. And the Titans get the interception at the Steeler 5-yard line, take it right into the end zone, and have assumed a 7-3 lead here in the first quarter. Interestingly enough, on that interception, that is the 11th team interception for the Titans. That is the USFFL lead. The Titans, who have only played 5 games, lead the league with 11 interceptions. They've already had their bye week, but they're picking off a lot of passes. In fact, Malcolm Butler leads the league with 4. Here's a little dump pass, and it looks like a little 6-yard gain. Actually, a 5-yard gain, I'm sorry. Minka Fitzpatrick brings him down on the tackle. It's 2nd down and 5 now. Tennessee is at the 39-yard line of Pittsburgh. They got it right back. There's a short pass, 10 yards. A.J. Brown makes that catch. Tennessee is now out to their 49-yard line. Tennessee leading it, like I say, 7-3 at home against the Steelers. Roethlisberger threw a big interception from inside his 5-yard line that was taken into the end zone and has provided the margin of difference in this game so far. Here's an off-tackle run to Derrick Henry on his card, on wrong. It's a long gain. Derrick Henry is loose. He's in the secondary. 10-5. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry loose already in the first quarter. Plows through the Steeler defense. Running off tackle to the right and on 11 on his card. Gets the long gain. And that comes through as a touchdown run of 51 yards. 14-3 now as the Titans are on the board again. So the Steelers got their opening drive to a field goal, but it has really kind of gone all downhill since then. So Steelers now trailing 14-3. Here's an off tackle to Benny Snell on his card, and that's 6 yards. Good call, or I should say a good result on his card. Not the best runner, but Coach Shibley will take that, and it's 2nd and 4 Pittsburgh at their 31-yard line. Pro set formation. It's a sneak to Roethlisberger. It is against a pass defense that just picks up 2 yards. And so that's 3rd and 2. So an interesting call, a sneak on 2nd and 4. Gets half the yardage needed, and it's now 3rd and 2 for Pittsburgh. They're at their own 33. 3 wide receivers are split out. It's Deontay Johnson in the slot. Titans out of the 3-4. The Titans have no blitzing to speak of, 3 sacks on the year. Here's another sneak for Roethlisberger. Back-to-back sneaks. This one got the 4 yards, and that's a conversion. So I will call that non-standard, but Roethlisberger gets it done. 1st and 10 Pittsburgh at their own 37. Here's another off-tackle run. Benny Snell gets just 1 yard on his card. So Steelers showing some patience, down 14-3 with a running game. It's 2nd and 9 at their own 38. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Defense out of the 3-4. Connor is behind Snell in the backfield. And here's an off tackle to James Conner. Defense was guessing pass. Conner from his card hits his number. That's a short gain. Conner plows through the line. 1st down and more across the 50, down to the 43 of Tennessee. James Conner converts. And it's now 1st and 10 Steelers at the Tennessee 43-yard line. Pittsburgh will come right back out with a 4th, or I should say with a pro set formation. Conner and Snell in the backfield. This time they're passing. It's a short pass. Deontay Johnson, and it's incomplete. It went to the defensive card. Titans have an incompletion on double sixes, and that was the roll. As I said, for a defense rated very poor, Titans cards don't look quite that bad. Here's a flat pass to Benny Snell, and that is completed, but tackled immediately behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. And that makes it 3rd down and 14. Steelers now at the Tennessee 47. Titans drop into the dime on 3rd and 14. Steelers splitting out wide, 4 wide receivers. There is no pass rush to speak of here for the Titans, and the Pittsburgh blocking is as good as it gets. So it'll be rare to see a lot of blitzing there. Here's a short pass, but it comes up short. Looks like it's a couple yards short. 4th and 2 at the Tennessee 35. Roethlisberger to Deontay Johnson. It's close. The Steelers are going to go for it, trailing 14-3. 4th and 2, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Conner is deep. Benny Snell behind him, and it is going to be a square out to Deontay Johnson. 2 men in the zone. Incomplete. Titans get the stop. Nice call, Coach Quagliarini on defense, doubling up the flat zone and getting a stop on 4th down. Titans take over at their own 39-yard line. Just into the 2nd quarter now, 13:30 left to go in the 1st half. Titans on top 14-3. Here's a quick inside pass to Anthony Ferkser, and the result is receiver for a 4-yard gain. Steelers defense had 2 men in the zone, but it went to the quarterback card and a result of receiver. And that sets up a 2nd and 6 for the Titans. Two tight end formation now for the Titan offense. Here's a pitch out to Derrick Henry. The defense is guessing run. There's even a man there. And on his own card, it is a short gain. Derrick Henry not being denied. 18 yards on that one, down to the Steelers' 39-yard line. So even on key, even with a man in the zone, he just keeps piling up those yards. 5 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown already. Here's a short pass to A.J. Brown. They were guessing run, but it is still incomplete. It went to the defensive card and found a blank spot on the Steelers' defense. 2nd down and 10 now for the Titans at the Steelers' 39-yard line. 2 tight ends again. The Steelers have plenty of blitzing, and they are keying Derrick Henry, but it is a play fake. They are looking long. This one's going to A.J. Brown, and that is a long gain on Tannehill's card. That's going to go, folks. Touchdown. No one's going to get him. And with 12 minutes to go here in the second quarter, the Titans at home are all over the Steelers. Stephen Gostkowski with the extra point. It is up, and it's good. 21-3 now for the Titans in this game. And here's a kickoff going to be returned across the 35 by the Steelers' Ray McCloud. Steelers at their own 37 now, trailing by 18 points. Wow. Steelers will go to 4 wide receivers, spread formation, Titans in the nickel. Here's a screen to James Conner. And he hits the number on the quarterback card, short gain. Conner's got it, and that's a 19-yard gain. There is a penalty, and that's on Tennessee. It'll be declined. Tennessee had encroached, but the penalty's declined, and it's a 19-yard flat pass to James Conner. 1st and 10 at the 45 of the Titans. Here's a deep ball to Eric Ebron, and he's got it. 27-yard completion to Eric Ebron. And that sets up, oh, actually, you know what? They're calling that back, offsetting penalties. I thought the yardage didn't look good. So that 27-yard completion comes back, and it's still 1st and 10 Steelers at the Tennessee 45. Here's a little flat pass to Deontay Johnson, and that's going to be a result of receiver and a 6-yard gain. He had the 6 roll on the white dice that went over the linebackers, giving it 0 men in the zone. But the receiver result ended up with a 6-yard gain. It's 2nd and 4 at the Tennessee 39-yard line. Still 3 wide receivers. It's a nickel and a sneak for Roethlisberger. And he picks up 5 yards. And that's a 1st and 10 now at the 34-yard line of Tennessee. Looks like we're using Roethlisberger to spread out the runs a little bit. Here's a little hitch pass over the middle to Deontay Johnson. That's going to be looking at his yak rating, and it's just going to be a 2-yard pass. Nothing extra out of his yak rating. The Steelers don't have a lot of yak rating, I noticed, in scouting these teams. It's 2nd and 8 now at the Tennessee 32. Here's a short pass to Chase Claypool, incomplete. There's a penalty, and actually, again, offsetting penalties, so that play didn't happen. 9 minutes to go, first half. Titans up 21-3. 2nd and 8 for the Steelers at the Tennessee 32. Spread formation now, 4 wide receivers, Titans out of the nickel. Here's a short pass to Deontay Johnson, and he's got it. Result on receiver gives him 12 yards. And that's a 1st down and 10 at the Tennessee 20. There's an injury on the play. Desmond King has been hurt. He had the big interception and return for a touchdown inside the 5-yard line earlier in this game to get the first touchdown on the board. Spread formation. Square out to Deontay Johnson again, and that's going to be an incompletion. But there is a penalty, and the Titans were offside. So we'll replay 1st down after a 5-yard mark-off. Steelers have 1st and 5 now at the Tennessee 15-yard line. They're in the pro set formation. Defense will show blitz out of the 3-4. And here's a flare out to the right to Benny Snell out of the backfield. Defense was looking for the run. Result is receiver, and he's got the catch. That's going to be down near the goal line. It's going to be 1 yard short. Benny Snell picks up 14, and the Steelers are now 1st and goal at the Titans 1. It's a big drive for the Steelers. They really needed this. Pro set formation. Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland. Defense guessing run. Short pass over the middle to Eric Ebron, incomplete. Went to Roethlisberger's card and found one of the very few places that you can get that incompletion. Second and goal at the 1. Again, out of the pro set formation. This time the running backs are Connor and Benny Snell. Again, defense of the Titans shows blitz out of the 3-4. Second and goal at the 1. Roethlisberger sneak up the middle. Touchdown! Went to the defensive card with 2 linebackers. It says +1, and that's all that was needed. Roethlisberger sneaks it over for the touchdown. Extra point pending here. Steelers getting a big score. And actually, they're going to go for 2 here. So it's 21-9, and they're going to forego the extra point and try to get it to 21-11. Steelers out of the pro set. 3-4 again with a blitz by the Titans. Connor and Snell out of the backfield, trying to get this 2-point conversion. Here's a short pass to Deontay Johnson, and that is complete. Nice pass. So the 2-point conversion is good, and it's now a 10-point game, 21-11. Titans are on top. The ensuing kickoff is taken by Khalif Raymond out to the 20-yard line, and that's where the Titans will take over. That injury on defense, by the way, to Desmond King, he's a backup cornerback, not a starter. However, he is a rated 4 cornerback, so I'm sure in like nickel and dimes, it's nice to have him in there. Off tackle to Derrick Henry. Steelers are guessing run on this one, and that doesn't matter. That's a short gain on the defensive card. Derrick Henry plows ahead for 18 more. Boy, I kind of wondered how he could be getting 200 yards every game. He's got 6 carries for 99 yards already. Still second quarter. Steelers up by 10. Titans now 1st and 10 at their own 38. Two tight end formation. Defense guessing run for the Steelers, but it's a quick out. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, has it, and that's a first down again. 12 yards on that completion. That was a result of receiver on wrong, and Jonnu Smith converts. And we're now at midfield. 1st and 10 Steelers at the 50. I'm sorry, 1st and 10 Titans at the 50-yard line. 6 minutes to go, first half. Titans already up 21-11 and driving. Here's an off tackle to Derrick Henry. They're guessing run again on his card. This time they stuff him. That's a 1-yard loss. So 2nd and 11 now. Titans from their own 49-yard line. Two tight end formation. A.J. Brown and Corey Davis split out wide. Steelers out of the 3-4 with their great outside linebackers. Here's a short pass to A.J. Brown. He is double teamed by Minkah Fitzpatrick, and the ball is incomplete, but A.J. Brown is, looks like he's shaking a little something off there. He's hurt. A.J. Brown is going to be out for the remainder of this game. He'll be back next week. But that's a big loss. That's their best receiver, and he's also an A-rated yak. So big loss in this game for the Titans. 2nd and 6 now at the Pittsburgh 46. Steelers guessing run again. It's a square out to Khalif Raymond. And on his card, that's going to be a completion, and that's 3 yards plus some yak. Khalif Raymond ends up going for 18 yards on that play. That's a first down to the Steeler 28, and guess what? Khalif Raymond is now hurt. Let's see how long he's out. Back-to-back losses at the receiver position for the Titans. Khalif Raymond is injured for the first half. There's only 4:48 to go. That's a big injury if he was out for the whole game, because he returns kicks too. Two tight end formation. Derrick Henry, the single setback at the Steelers 28-yard line. 4:48 to go in the first half. Tannehill now 7 of 9 for 102 yards. And here's a quick out to Anthony Ferkser. Defense guessing pass this time. It's still complete. That's 6 yards. So that'll set up a 2nd and 4. at the 22-yard line of Pittsburgh. Titans field goal kicker is not the best. 2nd and 4th at 22. Two tight ends again. Steelers out of the 3-4. There's a short pass to Corey Davis. It's an interception split roll, and that is picked off. Picked off by the Steelers. Here comes the return. That goes nowhere. He's tackled immediately, but Joe Hayden stepped in front of that one. Big interception for the Steelers in the red zone. They were already trailing by 10, and the Titans were looking to go in for another score. Steelers, with the big pick, take over, and it's 1st and 10 at their own 10. Here's a pitch out to James Conner, and that's just 3 yards on the defensive card. 2nd and 7, Steelers from their 13. Boy, it's hard to overstate the importance of that interception defensively by Joe Hayden. Steelers have had some bad breaks, but they're still only down by 10 right now. Here's a square out to Deontay Johnson, and that's going to be a short gain. Roethlisberger hits his number, and that's 13 yards, and he's out of bounds as well. So the Steelers now 1st and 10 at their 26-yard line. Roethlisberger is now over 100 yards, 13 of 20 for a 111. Both quarterbacks have an interception in this game. Steelers, 3 wide receivers. Deontay Johnson in the slot. Titans out of the nickel. He's dropping back deep. He's looking deep. Throwing long to Chase Claypool. And that is incomplete. Claypool working on Malcolm Brown there, but he couldn't get free. And it's 2nd and 10 at the 26. 3 wide receivers again for the Steelers. James Conner, single setback behind Roethlisberger out of the shotgun. They're going right back to Chase Claypool deep, and this time Brooks Reed is following from the linebacker position, but they're just flushing the quarterback out of the pocket, and that's going to be a completion, 9 yards. So he saw that double on his receiver, rolled out, and he hit a pass to James Conner out of the backfield. And that's a 9-yard gain. 3rd and 1 now. Steelers from their 35-yard line. 2:24 to go before half. Steelers 4 wide receiver formation. Benny Snell as a fullback is in the backfield. Third and 1, but they're in the spread. We'll see if they have the courage to run it. Nose tackle Daquan Jones is a 6-rated run stuffer, so you'd have to wonder. And here's a flare out of the backfield, Benny Snell. And that goes to a short gain on defensive card. Linebacker in zone. The 5 on the white dice beats him. And Benny Snell has a pickup of 14 yards and a first down on that one. Steelers now out to the 49-yard line, and we've reached the 2-minute warning. So with 2 minutes to go here in the first half, Titans are on top 21-11. Steelers have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Roethlisberger steps up with another spread formation. Titans out of the nickel. And here's a square out to Deontay Johnson out of the backfield. And that's a small pickup of 3 yards. Went to the defensive card on that one man. And 2nd and 7 now. After that 3-yard gain. Crosses the Steelers into Tennessee territory at the 48-yard line. Spread formation again. Titans stay out of the nickel. Deontay Johnson already has 8 catches in the first half for 48 yards. Only 6 yards per catch. But he's been busy. Here's a screen to James Conner out of the backfield. Goes to the defensive card, and boy, they rushed and tackled him there in the backfield. 4-yard loss. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 11 at the Pittsburgh 48 now. Steelers rush up to the line in the hurry-up formation. They'll stay in the shotguns. Smith-Schuster and Claypool split out right. Deontay Johnson, James Washington split out left. Titans out of the nickel. Roethlisberger with a big 3rd down opportunity here. 3rd and 11 from their own 48. Roethlisberger taking his time at the line. Here's another screen out of the backfield, James Conner. And this time it's 4 yards. He does get out of bounds, but it's 4th and 7 now at the Tennessee 48. So Steelers will have to send their punter out here. 1:22 to go in the half. Steelers punting just inside Tennessee territory at the 48. And Jordan Berry's going to try to angle that one, and it is actually not angled. He didn't quite get it out of bounds, and that's going to be returned from the 12-yard line. Looks like a return of 6 yards. And the Titans now take over at their 18-yard line. 1:15 left in the first half, just 75 seconds. Titans leading by 10, 21-11. Two tight end formation, defense out of the nickel. Scary thing about that nickel is it makes you pull your free safety up if you're going to guess run. And with Derrick Henry back there calling that nickel, sure enough, defense guesses pass. They're going to pitch it out to Derrick Henry, and that's a split rule to the defensive guard. It's a gain of 5 yards on the play. He did not get out of bounds. It's going to be 2nd and 5, Tennessee from their 23. We'll see what Coach Quagliarini decides to do with his clock management. And he's called the hurry-up offense. So 52 seconds left. 2nd and 5. Titans at their 23. Defense again in the nickel. I got to tell you, if you're going to sit in the nickel, when I'm running 2 tight ends, yeah, I think I'd run King Henry. Let's see what he does. Henry is now over 100 yards, by the way. 8 carries for 103, a 12.9 average per carry. It's a pitch out to Derrick Henry. Bold call of run by the defense. And with a linebacker there as well, it's just a pickup of 2. Nice gutsy call there for the Steelers. Risking that free safety coming up despite the limited time, and stuffs the run to set up a 3rd and 3 for Tennessee at their 25. 45 seconds left in the game. 2 tight ends. Derrick Henry, single setback. 3rd and 3, Titans at their 25-yard line. Here's a square into Corey Davis. He is doubled by Minkah Fitzpatrick, and he's got it. That's an interception by Fitzpatrick. Big play for the Steelers. Here comes the return. He's got it 10 yards inside the red zone. So the Steelers with another big interception on Tannehill. And they are now in a scoring opportunity. 1st and 10 Steelers at the Titans' 18-yard line. 37 seconds to go before halftime. Limited time, but all 3 timeouts. The free safety is going to be truly free. 3 wide receivers split out with 2 running backs behind Roethlisberger, Snell, and Conner. Out of the nickel, the Titans defense looking for pass. It is a short pass to Claypool, but Roethlisberger is forced out of the pocket, and he is going nowhere on that run. It was a must run, and he's going to be basically, it's a sack. It'll count as a sack by Jayon Brown, and it's 2nd and 10 at the 18 of Tennessee. Pittsburgh will take their first time out. 30 seconds left. Pittsburgh trailing 10, trying to get on the board here. 3 wide receivers again. Defense will show blitz out of the 3-4 defense this time. Chase Claypool's been targeted a lot in this game, but he's still catchless. Here's a short pass. Deontay Johnson. It's a must run again. This time Roethlisberger does get around the edge. That's a nice pickup, 7 yards. And that's going to make it a 3rd and 3. And I imagine we're going to see a timeout we do. So the Steelers now down to their last timeout. With 22 seconds, they are facing a 3rd and 3 at the Tennessee 11-yard line. Steelers will go to the pro set formation. Defense showing blitz out of the 3-4. Conner and Benny Snell behind Roethlisberger. Here comes the play call. And it's a pitch out. 3rd and 3, they're running it to James Conner around the edge. He's out of bounds, saves the timeout, but it's only a 2-yard gain, and it's decision time. Steelers, 1 timeout left, 15 seconds to go in the first half. They're down 21-11. It's a 4th and 1 at the Tennessee 9, and they're going to play this one conservative. And they're going to kick this through, and Boswell does just that. So a late turnover Results in another scoring opportunity for the Steelers. They pick up the field goal as the defense holds for the Titans. And that makes it 21-14. Ensuing kickoff is down and taken to the 25-yard line. 8 seconds left for the Titans. They'll go to the full house, and we're probably just running out the clock at this point. So let's recap the scoring as we're about ready to go into halftime here. Here's an off tackle to Derrick Henry. Defense is guessing run. And that's going to be a pickup of 5 yards. And let's see. There is no timeout. We're heading to the third quarter. Your score at halftime, Titans 21, Steelers 14. Steelers scored a field goal on their opening drive to make it 3-0. Titans came right back on their first drive, punted it deep, pinned them down at their 3, and 2 plays later, the Steelers tossed an interception at the 5-yard line that was taken in by Desmond King for the pick 6. That made it 7-3. Later in the first quarter, Derrick Henry breaks through with a 51-yard touchdown run. Derrick Henry 10 carries for 110 in the first half, and that touchdown made it 14-3. And then very soon thereafter, they got the ball back and a 39-yard touchdown pass, Tannehill, to A.J. Brown for a touchdown, made it 21-3, and it looked like maybe the route was on. But the Steelers' defense really buckled down at that point. They got a couple of interceptions that set up scores. They did get a sneak by Roethlisberger for the first touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown sneak, and they got a 2-point conversion that made it 21-11, and then a late interception by Minkah Fitzpatrick gave them field position for a 26-yard field goal to make it 21-14, and that's where we are at the half. Yardage fairly equal, 218 for the Titans, 202 for the Steelers. However, the Steelers have run twice as many plays, 44 plays to 22 plays. Steelers, 44 plays at 4.6 per play. Titans, 22 plays at 9.9 per play. So Titans only half as many plays, but they're gaining twice as much yardage. Rush advantage for the Titans so far. The first half, 110-65, all 110 of those yards go to King Henry. Roethlisberger came into the game with 5 touchdowns and 6 interceptions on the year, so he's upside down, and he's still upside down. Did not get the touchdown pass in the first half. He threw another interception, so he's 5-7 on the year. Tannehill was pretty good coming into the game, 13 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but he has one touchdown and 2 picks in this game that really helped the Steelers get back into it. And, that's what you expect from the Steelers defense. Steelers had 56 sacks in real life last year, but they're struggling so far this year with the sacks. They only have 6 sacks in 5 games, so just a little more than 1 per game, despite Stephon Tuitt and T.J. Watt both being 12-star blitzers. And you've also got another outside linebacker, Bud Dupree, who's an 11. Despite all that, they've only got 6 sacks on the year coming into this game. We're having a short break here as the Peters have decided to just take a short break here at halftime. 21-14 is your score. Titans over Steelers. We can call this the Peter Bowl as we've got our 2 Petes coaching here. Pete Quagliarini, head coach of the Tennessee Titans, and Peter Shibley, head coach of the Steelers. Many of you may not be aware that Pete Quagliarini actually works for the NFL. Goes around to different games, and I believe he works for NFL charities. And so kind of nice to have an official NFL representative in our midst. Got to give the Steelers credit for coming back here. For a second there, it looked like they were going to get run out of the building. And let's face it, lacking an elite run game means the Steelers can't afford to get way behind. Excuse me. Again, at halftime, waiting for these two coaches to resume. We do have other games being played tonight. Falcons and Lions, I believe, are playing tonight. And I also believe Rams and Bears are playing as well. The Rams and Bears game started 30 minutes after this one. And when this game is over, I may just cut to the end of that game and see how that's coming along. But the Titans had that deep punt on their opening drive, and then they scored 3 consecutive touchdowns. Of course, one was on the interception return. But then Tannehill back-to-back drives with an interception. Looks like we're back, and the second half kick is loose, and we're underway. It's going to be down for a touchback. Titans are who took that second half kick, and they'll open with the ball, 1st and 10 at their 25. So here we are into the third quarter. Titans with the ball and a 7-point lead. King Henry 110 yards rushing in that first half. Defense, not surprisingly, looking run on this first down play, but it's a short pass to Khalif Raymond, but that's incomplete. I went to the Steelers' defensive card. They have a couple of prime incompletions, and Tannehill found one. So it's 2nd and 10. Titans behind the sticks now. They'll go to the 2 tight end formation. Derrick Henry, single setback. Now there's a quick out pass to the tight end, Jonnu Smith, and that's incomplete. There is a flag on the play, and looks like that's going to be a holding call against Tennessee, so they'll back him up 10 yards. It's 2nd and 20. Tennessee is at their 15-yard line after that penalty. I believe that's only their second penalty, maybe, I think, from what I saw. Yeah, just their second penalty of the day. Steelers only 3. 2nd and 20. Defense is going to guess pass. It's a deep pass to Corey Davis. Minkah Fitzpatrick is over there, and that's going to be an interception. Minkah had him doubled. Interception on the play. Here comes the return. Looks like it's going to be just a 5-yard return, but Minkah Fitzpatrick steps in front of another one, and I got to check here. That's 3 interceptions. I know 2 of them are to Fitzpatrick. That's right. The other one is Joe Hayden. So 3 picks in the game. And really 3 picks on practically consecutive drives for Ryan Tannehill and the Steelers defense. Helping him out again, 1st and 10 in plus territory at the Titan 41-yard line. That was another double team by Minkah Fitzpatrick. I was just thinking, and by the way, let's run this play off tackle to Benny Snell. That's a pickup of 3, 2nd and 7 for the Steelers. I was just going to say, I was thinking right before that play that the Steelers defense seems to be doubling a lot with Minkah Fitzpatrick. So if you're watching that as a Titans coach, you got to wonder if he's going to be looking deep at some point. Because Minkah Fitzpatrick has been busy in this game. 2 picks, the result. Here's a square out to Deontay Johnson, and that's complete. That's a result of receiver, and even on right, Deontay's picking up 11 yards on that one, and that converts for a 1st down. Steelers now down to the Tennessee 27-yard line. Here's a sideline pass to Juju Smith-Schuster. That's an unfortunate incompletion. Boy, Titans defense was guessing run, got a result of receiver. 9's the only incompletion, and Juju Smith-Schuster found it. So 2nd and 10, Steelers at the Titan 27-yard line. Titans will come out of the 3-4 defense. Here's an off-tackle run to Benny Snell, and that's going to be no gain. So on his own card, he hits the 5. Snell going nowhere, and it's 3rd down and 10 for the Steelers. So they're trailing by 7. They're going to tie it up here. They're going to need this conversion on 3rd and 10. They're going to 3 wide receivers. Claypool and Smith-Schuster are out wide. Deontay Johnson in the slot. Titans coming at the nickel. Here's a short pass to Juju Smith-Schuster. He is doubled on the play, but flushed out of the pocket is Roethlisberger. He's looking in the flats, and that is incomplete. He tried to hit James Conner, but double sixes on Conner's card is incomplete, and it's 4th and 10 at the 27. That's going to be a field goal attempt. Here it comes. Boswell, 2 through 9 and 12. No good. Boswell shanks it. Wow. Bad break for the Steelers, and they're going to come up empty after that turnover. And the Titans retain their 7-point lead and take over now at their 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Dropping back to pass now is Tannehill. Here's a short pass. Corey Davis, and that's going to be a 17-yard completion, and that's going to be 1st down for the Titans. There was a possible fumble, but looks like Corey Davis has a very good rating there. No option to get that fumble roll. So 1st and 10. That pass takes the Titans across midfield at the Pittsburgh 49-yard line. Tannehill now 9 for 15, 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Off tackle, Derrick Henry to the left side. Defense was looking run. They've also got a man in the zone, and they stuff him. Definitely have noticed a higher run call from the defense of the Steelers after that 51-yarder to pay dirt by Henry in the first half. 2nd and 10 now, Titans. Still at the 49-yard line. Already up by 7. And here's a pitch out to Derrick Henry. Defense is guessing run, but it goes to the defensive card, and that's a 9-yard gain for Derrick Henry. Offensive onside end. Jonnu Smith, for the 2nd time with his 4-rated run blocking, delivers on a 9-yard run for Derrick Henry. So that's 3rd down and 1 at the Pittsburgh 40. Is it just obvious that you go run here? They're sneaking it. Tannehill against the short yardage defense, and he's got it. 2 yards. Tannehill converts. Titans now 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 38-yard line. 9 minutes to go now here in the 3rd quarter. Titans up by 7, 21-14. 2 tight end formation. Derrick Henry deep in the I. Having another big game running the ball. Here's a quick slant over the middle. Jonnu Smith, the tight end. To the defensive card we go. Split roll on the interception. That's incomplete. Tannehill actually hit that interception earlier on the 2 and the 12. He doesn't hit it here, though. 2nd down and 10. I don't have access to this stat, but I do think the Titans seem to have had their share of 2nd and 10s. I don't think their 1st down success rate offensively has been that good. A lot of 2nd and 10s. Here's a short pass on 2nd and 10. Defense was looking run. Khalif Raymond has it with the receiver result of 14 yards. So Khalif Raymond gets the 1st down for the Titans, and they're now down to the 24-yard line of the Steelers, 1st and 10. Right back to the 2 tight end formation. Defense is guessing run, but it's a little quick out pass to the other tight end, Anthony Ferkser. And then we've got a white dice 6 roll over the linebacker, 13 yards, and that's a 1st down. Tannehill now has them into the red zone, and it's 1st and 10 at the Steelers' 11-yard line, halfway through the 3rd quarter now. 2 tight ends. Short yardage defense, but it's a quick slant over the middle. Jonnu Smith, 9 yards, almost got to the 1st down. And they're definitely in business now offensively as the Titans have a 2nd and 1 at the 2-yard line of the Steelers. Derrick Henry, Blasingame, moves them all in the backfield. It's a pitch out to McNichols. And the defense was looking run, and it's a 4-yard loss. So interesting call there by Coach Quagliarini. He went around the end, went to the less named running back, and he lost 4 yards on that. So it's 3rd and 5 now for the Titans at the 6-yard line of the Steelers. That's another in a long line of big defensive plays by the Steelers in this game. Man, that was 2nd and 1 at the 2 just a second ago. Now 3rd and 5 at the 6. Let's see if the Steelers can capitalize on that big defensive play and get this 3rd down stop. 3rd and 5 at the 6-yard line. 2 tight ends again. Derrick Henry, the single setback, showing blitz out of the 3-4 as the Steelers defense. Will they run Derrick Henry? They will. Off tackle. The defense is guessing pass. Henry with a chance to punch it in, but he doesn't. It goes to the defensive card, and he's stuffed with one linebacker there. A 1-yard loss. And the Titans are going to have to settle for a field goal attempt here from the Pittsburgh 7-yard line. So nice stop on that series by the Steelers to force the field goal attempt. And as we alluded to earlier, they're a tough team to make comebacks with. Here's the field goal, and that is good. Boy, even from down that deep, it was just a 2 through 8 and 12. But he did put it through for 3 points, and the Titans have assumed a 10-point lead now, 24-14. Ensuing kickoff is downed in the end zone by the Steelers. And the Steelers take over at their 25-yard line. 5:42 to go, 3rd quarter. Three wide receivers split out for the Steelers. A lot of game left here. Titans will sit in the 3-4. Here's a short pass. Juju Smith-Schuster has it, and he's got a first down, 13 yards on the play. Roethlisberger now 20 for 30 in the game, 161 yards. 1st and 10, Steelers at their own 38. Here's another short pass, this time to Deontay Johnson, and that's complete on Roethlisberger's card. 12 yards and a first down. 10th catch of the game for Deontay Johnson. And it's now 1st and 10 right at midfield for the Steelers. They're going to go to the pro set formation now. And here's a deep ball to Chase Claypool. They're guessing pass, and on the defensive card, that's incomplete. Chase Claypool is just out of rhythm. Still 0 catches in this game, despite a number of targets. 2nd and 10 now. Steelers at the 50. 3 wide receivers with 2 running backs. Connor's the deep one. Titans will sit in the nickel on 2nd and 10. Here's a screen to James Conner out of the backfield. We've got a 13-yard gain. 0 men in the zone on the 6 white die, beating the linebacker. And that gets down to the Tennessee 37-yard line. 1st and 10. 5 catches for 40 yards on the day for Conner now. Three wide receivers, 2 running backs, Conner and Snell. And here's a screen pass again to Conner, and that's incomplete on Roethlisberger's card, and we've got a 2nd and 10. .336 to go, 3rd quarter. Titans are up 24-14. Steelers 2nd and 10 at the Tennessee 37-yard line. 3 wide receivers will split out for Pittsburgh. Titans out of the nickel. Here's a run off tackle, James Conner, and that's going to be, looks like, well, it's a holding call, so it's going to back it up. Looks like it was going to be a 3-yard gain on the run, but a holding call on the offensive line backs it up. And the Steelers now 2nd and 20 at the Tennessee 47-yard line. That's a big penalty. You're on the verge of field goal range at the 37. Here's a pro set formation, and a dime is what we're going to see from the Titans here. So a free run on wrong if the Steelers are so inclined on 2nd and 20. I think I might go off tackle, but they're going to go pitch out around the end to James Conner. Excuse me. Connor on his card, picks up 5 yards. It's 3rd and 15. So on 3rd and 15 at the Tennessee 42, Pittsburgh is in field goal range technically. It goes all the way out to the 42, but it's just a 2 through 4. So you're going to want to get some yards here. 3rd and 15, 4 wide receivers are split out. The fullback is Eric Ebron, a tight end. So 5 receiving options. Defense out of the nickel. Might be targeting that 15-yard completion on defensive card on 7. I know that comes to my mind. But here's a deep ball to James Washington. He's doubled by the linebacker, and that's intercepted. Intercepted at the 11-yard line. Here comes the return, and that's going to be a modest 8-yard return. Interception by Kevin Byard, the 12th interception on the season for the Titans to lead the USFFL. 2 more in this game. They were leading the league in interceptions before the game started. Roethlisberger with his 2nd pick, and a big one. Titans take over, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. 2:42 to go. They're still up by a 24-14 score. Here's a screen to Derrick Henry out of the backfield. The defense was guessing pass. They have a linebacker there. The result is receiver, and that's incomplete. Derrick Henry can't come up with it, and it's, again, 2nd and 10 for the Titans. As I mentioned earlier, they seem to have a lot of 2nd and 10s tonight. Here's a short pass to Khalif Raymond. Fitzpatrick was, as a safety, doubling the wrong guy, and it's 12-yard completion on the play to Khalif Raymond, and that's a 1st down. Titans now out to their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10. Feels like we haven't seen a lot of Derrick Henry runs here in the 3rd quarter. He might be saving them up. Defense is guessing run here on 1st and 10, but it's another short pass. Corey Davis. And that's going to be incomplete. Defender, X or 15. The defender was at least a 4. It's an incompletion and another 2nd and 10 for the Titans offensively. 2 tight ends formation again. Khalif Raymond getting a lot of work here with A.J. Brown injured in the 1st half. He'll be back next week. Here's an off tackle to Derrick Henry. Defense is guessing run, and that's going to be a 5-yard gain. White die of 6 beats the nose tackle just barely. Derrick Henry gets 5 yards on that one, and it sets up a 3rd and 5. It's a big 5-yard pickup. Really sets up the run and pass options here on 3rd and 5. Titans at their own 36. Three wide receiver formation on 3rd and 5. Adam Humphries comes in and pops into the slot. Derrick Henry is behind Ryan Tannehill. Here's a short pass to Adam Humphries, that slot receiver. Goes to Tannehill's card, and it's incomplete on a 9, and that's going to make it 4th and 5. So big stop there for the Steelers, and that's going to force a punt. Titans punting from their own 36-yard line. Less than a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. That's going to be a 48-yard punt to the 16. 6-yard return there by Ray McLeod, and the Steelers have it at their own 22. 1st and 10 at their own 22. That was the Titans' 2nd punt in the game. Steelers only have 1. Here's a screen pass to James Conner out of the backfield again. Receiver result, and that's going to be 6 yards. Setting up a 2nd and 4 now. 6 catches on the day for James Conner. Pro set formation, Conner and Snell behind Roethlisberger. Claypool split out right, Deontay Johnson on the left. Here's an off tackle to Benny Snell on his card, gain of 3, but that's going to be tack on 15 more as the Titans commit a personal foul. And that's going to put the Steelers over the midfield stripe. And that's going to also run out the third quarter. So we are headed to the fourth quarter here in Nashville with the Titans on top 24-14. First and 10 at the 46-yard line. And that's going to be another pitch out to James Conner and a 6-yard run. James Conner being used sparingly, but fairly well. 10 carries, 44 in this game. Second and 4. Here's a sneak up the middle. Roethlisberger just picks up 1. That went down to the nose tackle, and the Titans' nose tackle has that 6 rating we mentioned earlier. Daquan Jones made that stop, and it sets up a 3rd and 3 for the Steelers. Fourth quarter, they're still down 2 scores. They're in Titans territory at the 47. Steelers need this. Pro set formation. Smith-Schuster and Deontay Johnson are the wideouts. Conner and Snell in the backfield. Here's a flare pass to Benny Snell. They were guessing pass. We've got a yak rating for Snell, and he's going to get that one. That's a completion for 10 yards. Benny Snell applies the yak yardage and gets a big first down conversion for the Steelers. First and 10 now. Shibley has his Steelers down to the 38 of Tennessee. Back to a 3 wide out formation, still 2 running backs. Titans keeping 4 linebackers out there. It's a pitch out to James Conner. They were looking pass. It's only a 1-yard gain, though. He couldn't quite get around that edge. And Conner just picks up a single yard, setting up a 2nd and 9 at the Tennessee 37. 5 interceptions in this game. It's been a little turnover crazy. 2nd and 9 Steelers at the Tennessee 37. Here's an off tackle. James Conner going left. And that's going to be a 2-yard gain. They did have a linebacker in the zone, and that's a good thing. Good positioning on that linebacker for Coach Quagliarini, because that was a short game with a box on it without it. So it did, good call, causes that stop and gives a 3rd down opportunity for the Titans defense. Steelers 3rd and 7 now at the Tennessee 35-yard line. It's not good enough field goal position. This could be 4-down territory. 4 wide receivers are split out. Benny Snell is the single setback. Titans out of the nickel. Steelers desperately need 7 yards on this play. Here's a short pass. James Washington. He is not double teamed, and that's complete. Roethlisberger on his card hits a 7, and that's going to be a 10-yard gain, right, wrong, and double teamed. So a clutch roll at a clutch time, and the Steelers are now 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line of Tennessee. Just over 12 minutes to go in this game. Steelers down by 10, but on the fringe of the red zone. Roethlisberger now over 200 yards passing on the day. He drops back again, and he's going deep to Deontay Johnson on his card. He's got the long gain. That's going to go. Touchdown, Steelers. The dice roll on the long gain was as low as you can get it, but he was already at the 25-yard line. So Roethlisberger gets his first touchdown pass in this one, and it's a big one. The extra point is good, and with 12 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, the Steelers, who once trailed 21-3, have cut this to a 24-21 deficit. They're only down by 3 points now. Steelers defense on the road, getting them back in this game. Titans, after the kickoff, are taking over at their 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's an off tackle to Derrick Henry. Defense was guessing pass on this first down play, but that's going to be, well, there's a penalty, and let's see what that is. That's holding. Wow. So that was a linebacker in zone on the defensive card, and it might have been a few yards, but it wasn't going to get much, and that's a 10-yard penalty. Big holding call. And the Titans now are 1st and 20 back at their own 17-yard line. With the Steelers defense kind of peaking in this game, I don't know if you want to be backing up with those holding calls on first down. Here's a pitch out around the edge to Derrick Henry, and it is going to be no gain. There's another penalty, though, and this time it is on the defense. Just a 5-yard encroachment penalty wipes away that run. Still first down now, 1st and 15. Titans at their 22. And they're going to go split out with 3 wide receivers. The Titans will. 2 running backs. Derrick Henry, the deep eye. And it's a deep ball to Corey Davis. The blitz is on, and the blitz is in. That is a sack. Cameron Hayward with a gigantic 13-yard sack. Sack Nation for the Steelers coming through with a huge one there. And it's now 2nd and 28 for the Titans at their own 9-yard line. Big sack for Cameron Hayward. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs for the Titans, backed up at their own 9-yard line. Out of the nickel, the Steelers defense, they're going to run it on 2nd and 28. Derrick Henry gets his shot on wrong. It goes to his card, and he's got a nice run. 21 yards, picks up most of that yardage, but a fumble has occurred. Let's see who jumps on it. And it looks like the Titans have recovered. Wow. Titans, let's see. Oh, when they are returning at 3 yards, and there's a penalty. Let's see what happens here. So I'm confused. That's a 5-yard penalty, and the Titans accepted it. So instead of 2nd and 28, we get, yep, looks like he's acknowledging he probably screwed that up. He hit the wrong button. He should have not accepted the penalty, but he did. So it's now 2nd and 23, Titans at their own 14 instead of 3rd and 7 is what it would have been. A 21-yard gain on 2nd and 28 was the run by Henry, and then it was wiped off with the defensive penalty of 5 yards being accepted. So an honest mistake by Coach Quagliarini. I've made it myself. I think most of us have. An unfortunate one. 2nd and 23 now for the Titans at their own 14. Just over 10 minutes to go in this one. Here's a deep ball. They're going deep to Corey Davis. It goes to the defensive card. Result is receiver, and it is a completion. Corey Davis is going across the 50, down to the 20, down to the 11-yard line. 75 yards on that reception. Corey Davis. Wow, he got the double sixes on his receiver result, and Corey Davis got loose in the secondary for 75. And the Titans now are at the 11-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's a sideline pass to Corey Davis. 2 linebackers are there, and it's incomplete.
Hey, Tim. What did I miss? Oh, you're on mute. It says you're muted.
There you go. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah, so, the game just went final. It was a great game. Titans hold on.
Yeah, I watched a little of the first half. Titans were up big, so Pittsburgh must have came back. And
Pittsburgh had some turnovers and came back. And, very, very interesting game we just had. So if you saw the first half, you're aware of that. Yeah, the Steelers got some interceptions in the second half to get back in it. And but then Roethlisberger would throw it right back up. So and throw a pick. So they just kind of couldn't get quite enough.
What did Henry end up with for rushing yards?
Henry ended up with 19 carries for 148, and I'm actually interested in, maybe researching this going back. But at halftime, I think he had like maybe 10 or 12 carries at least. He didn't run it much in the second half, but he did what it took to win the game. So.
Did you get a final on the Atlanta-Detroit game?
I did not, because I was busy broadcasting this one. Do you have that?
No. Atlanta was up 24-10 in the second quarter, and I had to go do something else. So Atlanta did, but that's not an insurmountable lead. So,
it
looks like the Rams and Bears are playing now.
Yeah, actually, I was just going to check here. Maybe player of the game, 11 catches, 96 yards, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion for Deontay Johnson. So I am going to do exactly as you suggested. Let's switch and see if we can't get into. How do I get on again?
Just got to click on the link, right?
Yeah, I know. I gave him the link here. He just, he needs to see. He's in the wrong chat stream. I just need to get it to him. Rather than explaining it, just be quicker to wire. Where's Pete? Oh, right here. No, it's not. Where did he say that? Oh, he said that in USFFL. That's where he. So get on right there. Click that. I do have a couple questions I'd like to ask him. Do you see, can you see if he pops in or no?
I don't think so.
You can't see the people trying to come? Okay. Just thought I'd ask.
Maybe from this screen I could, but I don't see him trying to get in. Like when you show me that screen there, I could probably see him, because then I'm seeing your screen.
That's what I figured.
I can't see him from my own screen.
So come on, Tim, use your brain. Scheduled games, Rams, Bears, Control C.
What about the Tennessee coach? Did he stop by?
That's what we are hoping for. Both coaches said they were planning on trying. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. There's my man, Pete Quagliarini. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, Tim, how are you?
I am doing just fine. Let me first congratulate you on your win, buddy.
Thanks. I don't even know if I deserve that win. I made a couple of dopey moves and almost backfired. So I pulled it out. Pete called a great game.
I'm giving it
I looked at the cards. I looked at the cards in the beginning, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to beat this team. This defense is great. Roethlisberger's got a great card. Claypool has a great card. So,
and look what do you realize you held Claypool in that game to 0 catches?
Oh no, I don't want to solo him.
It's funny. I tried to neutralize him right away. I kept double teaming him. I didn't realize there was no catches on there.
Yeah, because I kept noticing that. Gosh, I'm trying to think where to start. I know one of the things I wanted to ask you was you really came out pass heavy in the second half. I'm kind of curious what you were thinking in that regard.
As you mentioned in your header, averaging 211 yards, I figured he would be looking to be all over the king, and I think he was in the beginning. I think he kind of called a few runs, and I said, you know what, let me soften up a little bit and start throwing the ball. And then I lost like 4 guys, and I think one drive. A.J. Brown, I think, and Khalif Raymond.
Yep.
And two of my defensive guys, so it was on the offensive defense. So I was kind of short-handed without A.J. Brown. So, I didn't know what to do at that point. So I started throwing to the tight ends a little bit more, instead of the king, just to kind of get him off of any kind of keying opportunity.
He was real busy, very active with his safety compared to a lot of teams I watched. Minka Fitzpatrick was all over the place, double teaming, and he hit successfully double teaming a lot of your receivers in the game. So,
he did, yeah. That one play, I think I threw 2 interceptions inside the 20 when I was driving because he beat right on the players, and it was amazing that he right on it like that, and he got the interception. So that was he was using Minka really well.
One of the things that I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, I don't know if you know this, I just was doing a little research prepping for the broadcast. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but you came into the game tied with the Rams, leading the league USFFL in team interceptions with 10. And that's with you only having 5 games played and the Rams having 6 games played. And then you picked up 3 more interceptions tonight. So you're doing very well on that turnover ratio, right?
Yeah, I was lucky that one big interception when I double team. I think Claypool at the end, I think was the difference because he was driving and he could move the ball. He had a couple of unfortunate interceptions that stopped some drives also. He kind of moved the ball out well.
Were you happy or disappointed? Because I was actually asking the question before he made the call, but he decided to go ahead and settle for the field goal down 10 at the 2-minute warning, which I thought was interesting. And I was kind of right before that talking about, I wonder if he'll consider doing. Everybody handles that differently. Were you kind of hoping he was going to keep driving, or were you kind of glad to see him take that field goal, knowing that he was going to have to come back with a touchdown?
I thought he'd go for it. I thought he'd go for the touchdown. Trying to get the 7 there. But
how many yards did he have to go? I wasn't watching. How many yards was it? 4th and what?
So it was.
7,
I'm trying to remember. So what it wasn't 4th down. I think it was 2nd down. He had just gotten. He had just gotten to the 20-yard line at the 2-minute warning, and he's down 10. And so I was kind of talking about, hey. Some guys, not me usually, but some guys will consider, let's kick the field goal now so I have 2 minutes after they'd rather have 2 minutes left to go for a touchdown than maybe 45 seconds or whatever to try to get to a field goal after an onside. And Peter's here. We can even ask him. Hey, Peter, how are you doing?
Hey, Peter.
Now, he did tell me that his microphone might be an issue. We'll see. Right now, I can't hear you. If you can hear me, we can't hear you. I guess hopefully you can figure it out because we'd love to talk to you. But we were just talking about your call to kick that field goal with the 2-minute warning. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and we'll keep him here. Maybe he'll figure that out. But he kicked the field goal at the 2-minute warning to cut it to a 7-point lead, and then he went for the onside. Of course, didn't get it. And so that Pete was able to run out the clock at that point. So, here we go. I don't know why sound won't work. Yeah, he mentioned that to me, Peter. I'm disappointed. We'd love to talk to you. Hey, man, it's okay. We understand. Buddy. He coached a good game. I agree with you, especially defensively, getting back in that game. It wasn't just the roles that got him back defensively. He was making the right double team calls, and at least twice those resulted in direct interceptions. So he was making some good calls to kind of make that work. But I have to give you credit. I felt like offensively, you kind of talked when I asked you about why you passed so much in the second half. I think you nailed it because in the early game you get that 51-yard run. He's got 100 yards on just like 8 carries. You've got him thinking run, and then you come out in the second half, pass, and it is true to say that I think his ratio was to call run a lot in that second half, and I think that really worked out as part of the reason why you were kind of able to pull away. I don't know how you feel, but that's what I would think.
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't know if you saw that one crazy play. I think it was. I don't even remember how it all happened. It was like 2nd and 28.
Oh, yes.
I don't know exactly happened because I was so frazzled by it. I hit the wrong button. It should have been like 2nd and 5, and it was third. It was 2nd and 23, and then the next play, I got like a 75-yard completion. So the strat gods were
man, I forgot that those two went together. I remember both of those. I just didn't remember the 75-yard play came right after that.
Look.
Yeah, so that kind of bailed my stupidity out. I even told Pierre, I said, I think I screwed up really bad. Goes,
yeah, I think you did,
yep.
But I also made the comment that I've done it. I think most of us have. Sometimes all that concentration leads to not finding the fine details sometimes. So I understand.
I read it. I go, 2nd down, great. And then I'm like, oh, my God, it's 2nd down and 23, not 2nd down and 5. So I was kind of beside myself at that point. I figured I'd blown the game. But I kind of lucked out with that next roll.
Yeah. So I looked at the schedule. You got your 5-1. You've got the Bengals on the schedule next week. They're 3-3. I don't know if you've played them before, but that should be an interesting game.
Yeah, I think they're doing pretty well, right? I think they got 3 wins.
They're 3-3, and they've done very well and against some good teams too. So that'll be an interesting one. So, hey, congratulations again on the win, man. It's good to see you. It's glad to finally meet you. Hopefully, some people can get out and see you. Same thing with you, Pete. You can hear me, right, Pete? Peter? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm sorry we didn't get to talk to you. Hopefully, at some point, you get that audio straightened out. But either way, it's good to see you, and you played a good game. And I appreciate you both being part of the USFFL, man. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, guys. You do a great job, Tim. Thanks for everything. Pete, great game. Sorry it had to be a lose. Someone had to lose that game. It was a great one. Take care, guys.
Take care. I'm going to keep the broadcast going for a little bit here, guys, at least long enough to see if that Bears game has completed. So let's see if it's over. I think, if I remember right, I did get that game number.
Started at 7, so it would be a pretty quick game if it's already done. 60677.
Well, we've got 5 minutes left. So it looks like, we'll go ahead and pick up the end of this one.
5 minutes left in the game?
5:42 left in the game.
Wow, that's a fast-moving game.
So tell me you can see the game now.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. So, 22-10 is our score, and the Rams are in the red zone. So I suppose you could make the argument if you hold them to a field goal and it's a 15-point lead that you can come back with 2 scores. Bears still do have all 3 timeouts. Here's the big money play, though, 3rd and 3. So we've walked in crunch time, 3rd and 3 at the 10.
Big play here.
Malcolm Brown is in the deep eye. Woods and Cup split out wide. Here's
the Rams are 5-1, right?
Rams are 5-1. Bears are 2-4. Here's a nice coach is saying nice call. He doubled the right receiver, but the quarterback is
might
flushed
not
out of the
matter.
pocket. Yeah, when it flushed out of the pocket, and that's going to be a 13-yard pass. That's pay dirt. Touchdown, Rams. So that should pretty much put a lid on this one. Extra point is pending.
Rams and Seahawks have a couple of big matchups coming up, don't they?
They sure do. I was looking at that.
Or do they already? No, they haven't played each other yet.
They haven't played each other yet. So it's a 19-point lead now for the Rams, 29-10 over the Bears. Let's take a quick peek here. Looks like the Bears actually got a 40-yard touchdown run. But, the Rams had 5 of the first 6 scores of the game.
Interception return for a touchdown. That's always a killer if you're on the bad end of that one.
No doubt about that. So that happened in my game as well tonight. Let's see. Brockers.
How did you do tonight?
Oh, I'm so sorry. When I say my game on this particular night, I mean the game I broadcast.
Oh, the Pittsburgh, Tennessee game?
Yeah, it was actually the Steelers got the opening drive. They drove and got a field goal. And then the Titans had to punt from midfield on their first drive, but they punted it deep down to the 3. And from the 3-yard line, the Steelers, Roethlisberger threw an interception at the 5-yard line on a dump pass that was, walked in from 5 yards out. And I guess in a 7-point victory, one could argue that's, arguably the difference in the game. Now 4th down for the Bears here, 4th and 3. They'll go for it. Wow, Bears just 1 for 10 today on 3rd down and just 8 first downs in this game, 141 yards.
Got it.
They did get the first down completion, though. 1st and 10 Bears at their 40. Still 2:24 to go. Playing out the string. Let's take a look at injuries in case somebody got hurt in this game. Oh, it's the Bears. But everybody's coming back except for one. Everybody will be back next week for the most part. Here's a little dump pass. Just a 1-yard pickup.
Who did the Rams lose to?
Did they lose to Tampa?
No, they lost to the Giants.
Oh, wow, that's right. Kaplan's playing well this year with that team.
Yeah, he finally got knocked off by Washington last week.
Yep. And didn't you? Are you back to what is your record? Are you 2-4 or 3-3?
2-4.
2-4 still. So you really needed that Giants loss.
Yeah, I was happy to see that. No offense to Scott.
Yeah, of course not. I'm happy to see all my opponents lose.
Except I got to play Washington this week, so now they got the momentum. So that's going to be a tough game. They got a pretty good defense.
The Redskins?
Yeah. Well, the Washington football team, to be politically.
Yeah, I just can't get used to that.
I know.
And it's not just that. I'm going to be honest. So take away the whole Native American thing. It's my issue is just as much about the name you chose, the football team. Using that name is confusing. I can't, be whatever calling a game or even talking about, and then the football team no. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I just wanted them to pick a real name.
I think they are going to have a real name next year, but I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that was the eventual goal. I'm just saying, let's do that right off the bat. There's a fumble on the play on 4th and 1, and the Rams are going to pick it up.
That was whatever. There was no chance way to come back anyway at that point.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of turnovers here. That's 2 interceptions. But I guess the Bears have had that fumble. So we're down to 8 seconds. Boy, that went quick. And that should be the end of this one. Backup quarterback takes a knee. And indeed, the game is over. So real quick, we'll look at the stats just for a brief moment, not the full rundown. But yeah, it looks like the Rams marched out to a 22-7 lead. On the power on the aforementioned interception return. Nice call by Harlan. Pick 6 by Brockers. 21st downs to 9. 311 yards to 163. Really, Bears must have played some defense because if you only get 9 first downs and 163 yards of offense, that means you kept giving it back to the Rams. And they still only got 311. So the Bears played plenty of defense as well.
Bears had 3 turnovers.
Yep. That'll kill you. That will kill you. Darrell Henderson was 70 yards and nobody catching the ball. Case in point, nobody, only one player in the game for either team with more than 50 yards receiving in that game. That was just a grinded out game, and turnovers were the difference. So
looks like the Rams controlled the time of possession.
Yep. Yep, they had 16 more plays. So, as I understand it, the Rams go to 5-1. I'm sorry, am I right, or is that 6-1?
6-1.
Yes, I'm so sorry. The Rams become our first 6-win team. They're 6-1 after the victory, and they play Miami next week in Miami. And the Bears fall to 2-5. I think that's true.
Yep.
And they'll be facing New Orleans and Tennessee and Minnesota and Green Bay. They've got a nice month coming up. So, yeah, good luck on that. But anyway, that's it. Your final score out of this late game is the 29-10 score. Rams winning at home over the Bears. And the early game was a 31-24 final score. The Steelers lose to the Ravens. So that's going to wrap it up here. You got anything else to add, Harlan?
Nope, nothing to add. See, looks like there's a game summary that's been posted. Oh, it's Atlanta. Here we go.
Yeah, check that out.
Atlanta beat Detroit 37-24. So
Wow.
Atlanta was up at one time 24-3, and Detroit made a comeback and pulled within 31-24.
Yeah, the Lions, even with that loss, the Lions are 3-3 with not a very good team. And man, I wish I could remember. I was looking at some team stats earlier today. Might have been third down conversions for all the teams or something. But I remember whatever I was looking at, the Lions were absolute worst. And I was like, man, how is he 3-2 when I'm looking at this stat? I think it was just maybe the worst third down conversion rate or rate allowed, one of the two. But, you know, Emerson's figuring it out. He's still with that loss 3-3, so he's still competitive.
He's had the Lions for a while, hasn't he? I think he's
had him a long
He's
while,
generally done a pretty good job with them, considering how.
He's one of those guys that's had one of the the teams that is obviously not going to be one of the better ones. I don't know him personally, so I don't know if he's a Lions fan or if he's just stuck with it because he wants to. Who knows? But I agree with you. He's kind of made the best of it. I think he's made the playoffs.
I know he's beaten Dallas a lot more than Dallas has beaten him over the years.
Oh, really? Yeah. All right. Hey, when's your game, Harlan?
Tomorrow night, 7:00 Central.
Okay.
Going to be a big one, and we got the Eagles and Giants. I think are playing on Saturday. I want to say
Saturday. Yeah, I might broadcast that one.
That'll be a big one. Saturday at 3:00 Central.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that as one I might broadcast. So we'll possibly be carrying that. But hey, that's it. Thanks for stopping in, Harlan.
Yeah, no problem.
Always good to see you, buddy. Good luck.
Yeah,
on your
you have a good night.
Right?
Yep.
Take care, buddy.
Yep. Bye.